Okay, everybody, here from the studio in Texas, Helene, and I am now very happy to invite in Rainer Irgang one more time from Norway. Well, actually, Lillehammer.
Exactly. Thank you for having me back. Long time no see. It's time to do another show now. People are asking for it.
Yes, great. Great seeing you again, Rainer. And since we last spoke, you and I, a lot of things have happened. So let's just dive in and see what it is we have of interesting things. But before we do that, I'm going to introduce you all to crystal bowl healing. And I'm not going to do it for a very long period of time. It is just a time for you to feel. I'm going to go through all the 7 chakras and just sit back, relax, close your eyes and just feel. And I'm going to play a little bit for you. And what it does, it balances your whole system, but a miniature version of it. Okay, so let me just get myself ready. So, okay, take a deep breath and then just enjoy.
Nice.
You get a 20-minute of that and your whole body is reset and rejuvenated. And
I'm afraid now you put everybody to sleep now. Not everyone listen to us.
Well, that does happen. Most people do relax very deeply. And I will be recording this and I'll be putting it up on my site so that you can listen to it at any time.
Yeah, and it's better if you do it alone because I forgot now to mute my microphone while you did it because the sound sometimes is gone sometimes, just a little bit, you know. So if you do it the next time on a video, make sure you have a good microphone and a good sound and maybe earphones on so you don't get an echo with your own speakers.
Oh, was it going a little, giving some echo?
No, it's just because of my speakers, because you come through my speakers and not the head.
Okay. And then another thing too is that the vibration is so high that when they start, and I'm going to show you one of them here. Oh,
Yeah.
you only don't see it. Yeah, one of them. When they start vibrating with each other. So when I play 2 or 3 at a time, it's you know, the whole place is just vibrating, you know. So
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful sound.
yeah, it's again healing with sound, with frequency.
And that's the future thing, you know. And the next what is I bought actually some kind of a frequency healing, because when I was traveling in the north, I had so much back pain, and because it was something strange happened, you know. I didn't get any donations anymore, and I'm trying to manifest it, and it worked all the time. But for almost 10 days, I didn't get in a penny. And I asked the universe, what the heck is going on? Why did you stop it? What is going on? So I had to find out. And I found out then what it was. I could detach myself from it. And the next day, the donations came in again.
Whoa.
Yeah. And what I found out when I was detached or engaged with kind of a negative energy, and I didn't find it out, I got seriously back pain from my sickness I had before, you know. I couldn't even stand. And somebody saw that and put a kind of a machine on me, which is called Helene. And it's a frequency healing machine, you know. You buy this little machine and you connect it with your phone. You download the information from this Healy center, and you put the chains around your wrist, you know, and put the electricity through you, the frequency healing. Yeah. I had three times 20 minutes pain healing. The pain was gone, and I could straighten myself up without any problems. It was enormous. Yeah. And the next thing which they have already in the secret space program, is the med bed, the medical bed, where you go into, you know, this kind of whatever, it looks like a bed, but it's closed. You go in there 3 minutes, whatever, you are completely healed. And this frequency healing puts your cells in recycling mode, back into 0 point energy, if you will, you know.
It 100% rejuvenates, yeah.
The point is, within 5 or 6 days, if you don't do the other things what you have to do, which is, you know, about smoking, about alcohol, about the right nutrition and so on, if you don't do these things, you always will fall back into that, you know. But it immediately helps, of course. Yeah. That's the first step. It's incredible, this stuff. It works, really.
Yeah, and I've had something, a mixture of a Rife machine and a you know, my little donut.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a component from the Rife invention.
Yes.
Rife energy, you know.
Yeah, because he put it out to everyone. That has been spread all over, so anybody can take that invention and make their own out of it. But yeah, no, it's and that was what, from the 20s.
From the
or the 40s.
No, it's the 20s. When the medical association found out, they made him a poor man, you know. Yeah. And this energy is still available, you know. And this company in Germany, I think it was, took it up, researched it, refined it a little bit, and made this product.
And you know, and the thing is, it's free.
Yeah.
Because the information is already out there. Yeah, the product you're probably going to give a little bit for the people that actually manufacture the thing, but the information is free for anyone.
Yeah, well, what they did is the product itself doesn't cost a cent almost, you know, but the information behind it, because they put these Rife energies in different kinds of healing sessions. It's a pure gold energy, it's or heart energy or whatever, you know, and resonance healing or whatever. It's different kinds of programs you can download. And once you download them and pay for it, you have it for your life, you know.
Yeah, I have. So that's what I use. That's why I'm not afraid of the corona either.
Oh, corona, the corona circus. What is that about?
It's. I can't believe, and I was even fighting with my dear cousin. I have a dear cousin in Denmark. I don't want to say anything, but she and I just are not on the same wavelength. But that's okay. We can't all be that. But I was very surprised because people are able, I mean, our bodies are able to heal ourselves, but we have to stay away from those masks because that is a bad thing. That is not a good thing to be.
That's what makes you sick.
Exactly. And then people say, well, what about the surgeons? Well, they are in a closed environment, a sterile environment, climate controlled environment for a short period of time, and then that mask goes off. Yes, there's a difference, but I mean, that is just so the bacteria don't get through, right? That's what I understand. So what we're talking about, a virus, the virus goes through it anyway.
You know what the biggest shock for these negative elites were?
No.
It was when they released the virus. It wasn't deadly at all because it was meant to be.
Yeah.
That was their last weapon, and they wanted to take down as many as they could with them, you know, and to maybe gain the upper hand again. But then the good sides, the whiteheads, they infiltrated their system, you know, and they dismantled this virus. They made it completely not dangerous at all. And they let the deep state then put it out of the market. And they got a big shock because nothing happened. This is why they wanted to create deaths. If you fall out of a 10-floor building, you got the corona, you know?
Yeah.
It's so stupid. This is why they want to have a second lockdown to crash the economy completely and then to blame it on Trump.
Yeah.
It won't work. It won't work.
No.
We are so gone. Now we are in the topic, which is getting quite interesting because a lot of things happened since last we spoke.
I know, a whole bunch of things. I mean, I have even seen the difference in the way that Trump has been helping the country. But people are not understanding. Many people are not understanding. He's not going to go out and just give you the money. You have to seek for it, right? As a business owner, I don't know how many people that I have guided. Hey, why are you guys going around thinking that the world is going under? It's not. There's money right there for you. He's giving it to you. He's helping you. And they're like, what do you mean? Well, we tried. I said, you got to continue trying. You got to continue because he's here to help you. He's not here to hurt you. People say, oh, he's taking away everything. No, he is not. He's giving us more, but he has to do it in a way where we have to do our part.
Yeah. There are channels out there, alternative media channels in the US, where they confirmed with people putting up the checks in front of the camera. It's true, he gave us money and more is to come.
Yes. Yes.
And the genius by this is another person, economist in Norway. He said this is stupid because he creates much more debt and it never can be repaid, and our future generations have a big problem then. And I just shook my head and said, why are these people so stupid? Because if this system is fake, then it can easily be pushed aside and the new can be replaced. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the future, nothing. But what Trump is doing, he's bleeding out the Fed right now because he took over the Fed, but he lets it run as a private company still to bleed it out. And the new CEO of BlackRock is a friend of Trump, and BlackRock is backing up or working together with the Fed, you know. So the Fed would be nothing without BlackRock.
And then not only that, now he's going after the central banks, because once they are taken care of, you see, what people don't understand is that if we had not had Trump in power now, in 2017, we would have all been bankrupt and we would have been in quarantine and we would have been in much, much worse situation than we are now. This is just.
We would be in the FEMA coffins.
We would have been, well, that's why the FEMA coffins were coming. That's why the UN cars were being shipped over. These tanks were being shipped over. UN was about to take over.
Yeah. And people got afraid when Trump, was it a year ago or whatever, gave the power over to the FEMA administration. And everybody thought, now we are lost. Yeah. But what do we mean by that? Because FEMA is getting used. Everything what the deep state did, he uses now against them.
Yeah.
Why do you think FEMA got the control, but they have to go back to the White House, to the administration, to ask what they are doing? So they are not completely in control. But what they are doing, it's just a guess of mine. They're using the FEMA camps to get rid of the bad people as well, not only Gitmo, because there's not place enough.
Have you seen how much bigger it has gotten? It has gotten like 4 times bigger than it was before Trump came. There are a lot of people there now. You can look at it on Google Earth. You can actually see it on Google Earth, the difference from before.
Yeah. So it's great. It's going to be great. Besides, FEMA is going to be used to get rid of all these biorobots.
Oh, interesting.
Cleansed out from the earth. They have to be cleansed out. And I heard it somewhere that in Indonesia or Asia, there are over 60% of clones.
Wow.
This is why when the Wuhan virus broke out in China, the only official newspaper article we got from that was that around 25 million mobile, subscribers, you didn't hear from them anymore. The companies wondered why don't we hear from these people anymore? You know, they have registered their mobiles with us. What happened actually that over 30 million clones got rid of in China at the same time. Big cleansing going on.
Wow.
And what I heard is US is going to do the same, put these people out in the desert and just get rid of them.
That's interesting. Mm.
Because can you imagine, everybody's talking about Nezara and Gezara. Yes, but it won't come until these clones are gone.
Yeah, yeah. And I, I'm looking at it because I know that it will be happening. I don't know if I sent you this on Messenger. I think I sent you an old recording regarding a person that has found out that, going back to 1776, how the US has been indebted to the crown, but then also to the Rothschilds for like 70 years at a time. Every 70 years, they try to get out, and then they don't get out of the debt, and then they go back into it. So we've more or less been run by these. It's an old one. I need to send it to you again if I haven't sent it to you. I got it from one of the Norwegian links.
Okay, I didn't see that. You have to send it to me. The only thing is, what I know that about 200 years ago, the Rothschilds bailed out the British Empire, the royals, because they were bankrupt.
Yeah.
The Rothschilds said, okay, we give you the money, we bail you out, but we, the Rothschilds, are now from now on allowed to breed within your royalty for 200 years. And the contract went out in 2015.
Interesting. That's why they call them Lord Rothschild and so on and so forth.
And all this,
Interesting. They bought themselves in. I did not know that. Thank you for that.
But, all this black nobility, which are the royals, in the kings or queens in Europe, they are all dismantled. They are not in their jobs anymore.
Amen.
The black nobility is gone already.
Yeah, and the funny part is that many people don't understand it yet.
No, they don't understand it. They have no clue.
Yeah.
They have no clue.
Yeah.
And besides, I'm wondering what is going to be in the 3rd of November. Is it going to be an election or is something else happening?
So that is interesting too, because every time I talk about him, I always talk about him being chosen.
He's clearly the chosen one.
And I can't even say elected. The word comes out naturally, chosen. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. That's just the way I see it,
He was prepared. You see old interviews from the 80s and from the early 90s of Trump, and he was asked if he wanted to be president. And he always said, no, that's not his job. It's a dirty business. He knew that he's going to be a president. He was groomed for that. He was groomed for, besides, he has German royal blood in him. He could crown himself as the king of USA, the Republic.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he could.
One thing I do know is that I believe that because of his uncle and the inventions that his uncle, came in was able to look at, the ones from Tesla,
Yeah.
I believe that he does a lot of time travel. What do you think?
Yeah, he does the time traveling. They have the time machine. They have all the technology from Tesla. It's under their control.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's no wonder, 20 assassination attempts and nothing worked. It's because of that, maybe,
Yeah. So he's able to see it. But there's one thing that nobody can shift, and no, it doesn't matter how you time travel and you can shift something. That is the awakening.
Yeah, yeah.
That is something that all the people that have known this about time traveling and have been wanting to shift events have understood that there's nothing they can do about the awakening. That is divinely planned, and that is not going to stop. So this planned awakening is happening, whatever happens, it is still happening.
It has to do with energy, and it works individual with everybody. So they can't do that. They can manipulate energies to time travel and so yes, but not the individual awakening.
No.
So,
and that's one thing. That's one thing. As a person that sees, has always been able to see lifelines.
Yeah.
They're all going together. It's not like it was before. So when people come and ask me questions, I was able to say, if you do this, go this way, this is going to happen. If you go this. It is not happening right now. Since 2020, since January, I said, wait a minute, what is going on? I'm not able to see it in the same way. Mm-hmm. But that is because the control of our lives has been given to us completely. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, everything is controlled by us now. We are children.
Of course. And this is why manifestation works. So even now, the manifestation, even if you're not pure, if you're not real spiritual and maybe a little evil side comes out, be careful what your thoughts are. Yeah. This could manifest,
100%. And I see it all the time. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So it's this change can't be stopped.
No.
It will be a wonderful time. It will be or could be a little turbulent, yes, but it depends on how many wake up.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening in Germany, because Germany was still a kind of a main powerhouse for this elite, where they could crawl back into and feel safe and steer everything out of Berlin, you can say. Mm-hmm. This is what's happening in Germany now, the awakening, because all the evil shows itself in Germany. Even if the people are so asleep, they start to wake up and say, this is bullshit, we don't buy into that anymore. Yeah. This is why suddenly there were 4 million, demonstrators. Even if it would have been created by the deep state, it's all backfiring. Whatever they do, they have no chance.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to this amazing, we're already in a transition, but transformation. I'm looking forward to the feeling of utopia.
Yeah. By the way, in this demonstration in Berlin, you know who was there?
Yeah.
JFK Jr. But it wasn't in the media, in the mainstream media. Nobody told the mainstream media that John F. Kennedy Jr. was there.
Wow.
Nobody said it. Can you imagine? It's a high-profile figure, because of his name. Yeah. And he gave the speech, and he said the same sentence as his uncle said in 1961 when he was in Berlin. He said, "Ich bin ein Berliner." And the people were shouting. They were incredible. Incredible. And then there was a turbulence with the police, and then suddenly he appeared on a mini stage prepared suddenly for him. And he started to talk, and the police stepped back and took their helmets off in solidarity with the people. And other police were really brutal. And this is, they had the same numbers on their backs, and they showed up on 3 different locations simultaneously. That means it's infiltration of soldiers, of mercenaries, Antifa, or whatever. Yeah. And you can be sure that the British and the Russian, the American and the Russian intelligence have all the pictures. They know exactly who they are. Yeah. So it's backfiring for the elites in every way.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy to watch this. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
Can you,
real.
by the way, when all this is over, can you imagine what kind of movie this is going to be?
Yeah. Well, it's the revelations. I mean, we are literally playing the game or the movie that we have heard about since way back.
Yeah.
That was going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
The prophecies are coming true right now.
Yeah, yeah. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Anything new happened in the US which I might not get with me because I'm following very closely Germany now.
Yeah. Well, the U.S. is they're having their more and more. I have not been in any of the riots, so I mean I stay away from that. But more and more people are, the silent majority is waking up and saying what they feel and doing and connecting and gathering but other than that, no, I have not really, not more than what you see in the news, which is lies, but I mean the other news. So I believe that the 17th, what is it? The 17th of September, something might, and that's something that I'm coming with. The 17th of September, there is something economical is going to be happening there. And the same thing in October. It feels like there are certain times that things are going to be shifting, and that has to do with, Trump is talking about the gold and the silver. I think it's October we're talking about. Things are going to be happening in October. Because once he gets control over the central bank, then the actual value of the money, I believe, again, this is my opinion, I'm not the actual value of the gold and the silver is going to be showing but they're still trying to, so every 2 weeks or every week maybe I can see on the silver is going up and then it goes down far and then it goes up again and then it goes down. I mean, it's constant. So it's rigged. Everything, it's still rigged. But I believe in October, if he has control over the central bank, that is going to clear. But we shall see.
But under the White House, they have all these control mechanisms, the same as the deep state have. So if the deep state does something on the stock market or whatever, which crashed down 666 points down, about a year ago, what did Trump the next day? 666 up again points. So they're playing each other out, that way. He has control, and he already has control over the central banks. And by the way, he had control over all the governments in the Western world and in the Middle East from when he came into office.
Yeah, 2017, right?
Yes, you know what he did? The NSA, Admiral Rogers, he knows everything about everybody in politics, in high society, in business, whatever, you name it. He knows everything about everybody. And Trump took all this material, and the first state he visited was Saudi Arabia. Smashed everything on the table, said, this is what we know about you. Now you play with us, Yeah. So he blackmailed all these countries. And the worst one to blackmail was Israel. So he had to stay an extra day.
Yeah.
Because Israel has no power. When I say Israel, I mean the Zionists.
Yeah.
It's Netanyahu and the Rothschilds, they have no power whatsoever. Mossad has no power anymore. The Vatican has no power. And the Vatican owned our Uniform Commercial Code, for 650 years. They're without power completely.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. is dismantled. London City is dismantled. So Russia, even China, and the U.S. are working together. Even if it looks like that China is this verbal warfare about the economics between the U.S., it's just a game. Because Xi Jinping has to cleanse up there as well. Not only one deep state, but two and even three deep states. And he did the right steps. And he's going to dismantle the Communist Party as well. He's going to set free China. Because there is a big spiritual awakening there in China. I think I mentioned it once. China is the biggest builder of organs. The organ music, the biggest in the world.
Yes.
And they are studying classical music, especially Bach. All the geniuses are coming from there now. Mm-hmm. There is a big spiritual renaissance in China, So we have to be careful what we are talking about when we slander a country or whatever, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely, because everybody is waking up, and that was one thing that I wanted to say too. When we went on this Trump train, there was love between us. There was love we were spreading.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that there's nothing that is as powerful as that. And so when you are waking up and you're having a hard time, understand that it is that is just part of the awakening, because then on some level you feel, have I been duped for this many years? Have I been programmed for this many years? I mean, sometimes that's really irritating. Your ego takes a little bit of a toll when that happens. But in the long run, waking up is going to be so much more amazing. In your life is going to just be completely different when you do. And if you're listening to us, I'm sure that many of you are awake. Most of you are probably awake or awakening. And that's and there are many things to take in consideration. But if you're not feeling very well, you know, look me up. I have some things that I can help you with on that. Yeah.
You know, since I was reading these books from a German guy who was in a secret society, and when I read all these 9 books, it is much simpler than we think, the real history. It's much more simple than we think. And the same it is with Trump, because everybody or most people in the beginning said, this guy is not presidential at all. He's a kind of a goof, you know, or whatever. I mean, he can't talk really, but he makes it simple. He's talking our language. He makes everybody understand, because when Obama or Bush or Clinton, you know, when they talk to the people, it's always this nice talk, you know, this high up talk or whatever, and the people got a lot of respect. They must know better. It's bullshit. It's just a game. They don't know anything. And Trump is dismantling all that. It's showing to the people they're only a-holes, you know. It's so simple.
And the interesting part is that when he came into office, PC was out the door, you know, political correctness. And I was so happy, because you have no idea how many times I've had to close my mouth because I was about to say something that would have been politically incorrect. And getting fired over what I say has happened several times as well. So,
you know, when Trump...
It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. When Trump gives press conferences, there are 2 different kinds of. One in the Rose Garden and one inside the White House.
Yeah.
You look at the logo, the presidential logo on the speaking put or whatever you call it. It only stands White House, the White House. That means he's representing the Republic of the US, not the company.
Interesting.
He said that once in a Corona press conference, almost a year ago now, or several months at least ago, when he said to the people, you are so disciplined. I'm so proud of you. It has been a pleasure to have been your president.
Yeah.
Oak of the past.
Yes.
At that time, he dismantled the company.
USA Incorporated, yes.
He dismantled it. He took over Washington, D.C. And when he talks out of the White House, he still controls Washington, D.C. It's not completely dismantled yet, but it will within the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it will come. And then United States is a sovereign state. Russia became a sovereign state July 6th this year.
Yeah.
And as soon as America is a sovereign nation, then Russia and USA can offer the Germans a peace contract.
And that's what we talked about many months ago. Remember? We already talked about that, and we are so close right now. This is amazing.
Yeah. And when that happens, when there is a new Kaiser installed in Germany, which there is already now a relative or a, what is it? Yes, some child of grandchild or whatever of Kaiser Wilhelm.
Yeah.
And they put him in place. They give Germany a peace contract, and then all the companies, the nations which are registered, the companies will fall. At that day, they will fall. And this is what I think this will come as well, that the US government and the allies will come up with a military tribunal, international military tribunal.
Yeah.
Very many of the high elite guys all over the countries and their politicians high up in the ranks, they will face the death penalty.
It's going to be an interesting time, my dear. I am grateful for all this information. I have, as a working person, I have a person coming in a little early today. So I'm going to have to say thank you for this time.
Yeah.
Thank you for this time and all the valuable information that you come with, and I really appreciate that.
I'll be traveling the 12th and 13th from here. The 15th, I think we could make another one before I travel further the next 14 days. We talk about it.
Look at you, you're all over the place. That's amazing. We have work to do, so yes, I would love to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.